We are getting new details now on a UN nuclear inspector on the ground in Iran who was killed in a car crash near a nuclear site. The timing of the inspector's death raising questions about exactly what happened and whether or not this was, in fact, an accident. Brand new hour here of America Live. Welcome, everyone. I'm Megyn Kelly. The deadly crash comes just days before a new round of talks between Tehran, the U.S., and other world powers. It also happened right near a plant where Western governments suspect Iran may be secretly processing uranium for a nuclear warhead. Leland Vittert, live in Jerusalem with more. Leland?
Right now, Megyn, there are certainly a lot more questions than answers about this crash for no other reason than it's the Iranians who are doing the ones in the investigation here. They're leading it. They know everything about what has happened there. So far, though, nothing to suggest a little bit of foul play. The IAEA, who these inspectors work for, is based in Vienna. Our foreign desk got in touch with them, and as of now, they say they're not going to speculate on how this men died, and another one was injured outside the Iraq heavy water reactor facility that is outside of Tehran. They were visiting this facility. We don't know if they actually got inside the facility to carry out an inspection or were simply looking at it from the outside. At that point, their car skidded off the road, rolled over. One inspector from South Korea was killed. Another one survived. Of course, there's been a lot of tension between the inspectors and the Iranians because the inspectors want to go a lot of places that the West suspects there are these kinds of enrichment activities going on or secret experiments going on, and the Iranians have refused access in a number of places. Of course, over the past year or two, there have been a lot of bad things happening to Iranian nuclear scientists. A couple of them have been blown up by car bombs and the like. Iran tends to blame the Mossad, Israel's intelligence service, or Western intelligence services for these bad things happening to the scientists. But for lack of a better term, the Iranian nuclear inspectors that are there from the IAEA are on the same side as Israel and the Western intelligence agency. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense that they were killed by the Mossad or U.S. intelligence. So you're left with two scenarios. Scenario number one is that they saw something or learned something that was so explosive to report back to headquarters that the Iranians had them killed in what was staged to look like a car accident. Scenario number two would be that there are some 26,000 people who die every year on Iran's roads, if for no other reason that there are notoriously horrible drivers there, and that this is just another tragic car accident. Of course, we don't have any information to suggest that it is anything other than that. What's going to be most interesting, perhaps, is when they are finally able to interview, or at least get back to headquarters, that other inspector who survived this crash. He will certainly be able to shed a lot more light on what's happened here and whether this goes down the road of something very sinister or just something very tragic. Megyn?
Leland Vittert, thank you. We are also tracking new fallout this hour after the CIA derailed